Oh well.
You see they were taking the
I'm a first.
I don't know.
The upstairs. It is.
That was a
Here you go, sir.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Craig Cece has today's weather briefing, so he's gonna come up and get that started, and then after that, we'll do the costume thing.
Okay.
The satellite is showing an interesting picture in that we have been stuck under the cloud cover for the last few days. Fortunately, we had some breakage in the clouds out ahead of a frontal boundary, but that'll be short-lived if you see in the next. Got this front right stretching all the way from Canada, almost to Mexico. Second boundary along the northern Gulf Coast, and we're kind of wedged in between them, so we've been stuck with mostly cloudy skies. But all this cold air stuck in the west, some of it's going to slowly work its way to the southeast, but certainly not to the level they've had. With these fronts coming together, rain. We've had a lot of it this past weekend, and if you don't like rain, we got more coming tomorrow and into Thursday as the fronts come together and a low pressure system moves to the northeast. We'll get a bit of a warm up though out ahead of the front, so we may kick off some severe thunderstorms. I'll threat is low at this time. Behind it, the cold air will try to invade, although it certainly won't be nearly as cold as it is out west, you'll see in a later slide. As the low strengthens and moves up to the northeast, the secondary reinforcing front will move in for Saturday, but that one should be a dry front in comparison to the one that'll come in the next couple of days. So it'll be a wet Halloween, but dry, but quite a cool weekend though that comes. Got this marginal risk of severe storms for tomorrow, mainly later in the day. I'm not expecting much in the way of severe weather. There's not much instability, but could see a brief wind gust here and there. Sorry, you can go ahead. Main story will definitely be the rain, and some spots could see 2 to 3 inches of rain between now and Thursday evening. Other spots may get less, but it's definitely going to be plenty of rain, and we've already had a fair bit this last weekend. So showers and thunderstorms the next couple days, and once the front comes through, temperatures will dry. It will come right down into the low to mid 50s for highs Friday and Saturday, and we'll probably get our first freeze on Halloween night with a low of 31. So you're gonna want to cover your plants as you get into once the front comes through and into next week. What a difference. There's 2 sides of the country. Take your pick. Do you want summer? Go down to Florida. Do you want the dead of winter? Go visit Crystal Whirly in the Rocky Mountains. It's an 84-degree difference. And that air will try to come through, although it won't be nearly as cold this weekend. And I've seen fire. I've seen rain. As the song goes, no, I've seen snow. As is seen in Colorado, while Southern California is dealing with major wildfires and many more coming in the next threatening tomorrow and Thursday. It's all because of that upper level ridge and the wind flow, and we got wild weather all over the country. So we should be blessed here in Mississippi that we're not getting either of these extremes.
All right, thank you, Greg.
You're welcome.
All right, so while I get this plugged up, anybody who's wearing costume, go ahead and come to the front of the room. I'm gonna play this is called I Got a Job.
Are you Paul Bunyan?
Wait, how are you now?
This isn't a costume, this is what I wear. This is what I look like every day. What do you mean, what costume? I love her. I hemorrhage everything. For him, you did it. You did it. I'm proud of you.
All right, so it all starts.
I'm out.
Grace.
Chungus.
Lights. Okay, so you all saw the meeting flyer that if you wore a costume, you might have the chance to win a free t-shirt. So we're doing this contest as to who's wearing the best costume. Lindsay and Barrett are gonna be picking the best costume. And we're gonna go down the line real quick and just say what you are in case somebody can't tell. If you don't know what I am, you can ask either Andrew Miller, you can ask Brian, or you can ask Brooke. The Saints lost in the SEC championship 26-23 last year. And I'm a Dolphins fan, so I have to rub it in balls.
Twenty-three.
Mine is my fantasy quarterback.
All right, so really quick, let's go down the line.
Okay, I'm Elle from Stranger Things, specifically season 3 because I couldn't shave my head, so there I am.
I'm Jim Halford from the office. Wayne, Letterkenny.
Trash, oh, I'm sorry, Carson Wentz.
More specifically, Dak Prescott.
Yikes.
Big Chungus.
I'm Posty, I'm Post Malone, but I wear this every day.
I'm Amaya, but I'm half dead meteorologist.
I'm just I'm Mia Wallace from Pulp Fiction, but post heroin snort, not pre-heroin snort. That's an important distinction.
Indiana Jones.
I'm an initial baseball player. Obviously.
If that's our team, we're screwed.
All right, so we'll let Lindsay and Barrett conference about it. We all know.
Indiana Jones. What'd you do it with?
Okay.
Runner up,
Runner up, okay.
Kristen.
All right.
Indiana Jones. Committed, but not as committed as Paint Your Face. And Post Malone wins.
All right. So, Bert, you'll get a free t-shirt. You have your pick. You can either be a chapter t-shirt or you can save it for symposium and get a free.
I'll take a chapter.
Or you can give it to the judge. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention last year in Prague, Lindsay asked what a Post Malone.
It's me.
All right, thank you everybody for dressing up. Okay, so we've been talking about it a little bit this year, but now things are going to begin to pick up in the high gear when it comes to symposium because we have our lineup of keynote speakers set. We're working on booking our travel stuff. Everybody's agreed to come, and it is set. So before we start, does anybody want to take any guesses as to who they may be? Okay, so the way I'll do it is I'll give a few clues before I say each one. He's going down.
Donald Trump, short.
All right, so the first clue for the first person, she just published a book about her life. No. She is based out in New York. She's on a cable news channel. Greg gave the weather briefing. But yes, James Dean from Fox News. She's the senior meteorologist. She just published a book about her life. She started off as a meteorologist in Canada and made her way to Fox News. And she does a lot with outreach. She has a whole line of children's books that she writes where 100% of the profits from those books go to charities. She will be awesome as a broadcaster. The next person, Caroline is having a stroke over because she's coming. I don't suspect many of you know her, but you'll definitely know her after symposium. She's a social scientist based out of Norman, Oklahoma.
She's my idol.
Her name is Kim Clockell McLean. She does work with SIMS and NSSLs, but the big thing she's doing right now, she's working on threats in motion, which is the framework to replace the current warning system that we have now. So it would be a new way for tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings to be issued, where you're constantly getting updates as opposed to a forecaster updating all the time. So she's working on stuff like that, and she has an extensive background in Oklahoma in severe weather and things along those lines. Third keynote, if you're on Twitter, you probably know him. He's a chief meteorologist somewhere in the Southeast. He's at an NBC affiliate. He does a lot of stuff with the station, but then he also does a lot of stuff under his own brand. He's in North Carolina.
Brad Benedict.
Wow.
No.
No, it's the same market though. Yeah, so Brad Panovich is chief meteorologist at WCNC. He does a lot of social media pioneering. He tries stuff literally the second it comes out. So it works right. And he really has made weather Twitter, weather Facebook, weather everything what it is today because of his constant social media updates. And he's really mastered the art of it. So it'll be good to hear from him. And then the final keynote is a graduate of Mississippi State. And we tried to get him to come last year. And he had a conference down in the Caribbean he had to go to that weekend.
It's Rogers.
And he is, I think, he once worked at WCBI way back in the 80s. His job title is director out of what organization? Yes, National Hurricane Center Director Ken Graham is going to be our fourth keynote. He came to Mississippi State in the 80s, and we actually figured out, I've met him a couple times. When we replaced the carpet up in the climate lab last year, that was the first time it had been replaced since Ken Graham laid it back in the 80s.
Yes. No, he's taller than Dyer, I think, based off of the last time that I met him. I think it. Okay, we need to have a height contest at symposium.
Donkey contest.
Oh.
Okay, so those are our four keynotes. I think it's going to be pretty awesome to have all of them here at once. It was really hard to top last year, but I think we're on the same level. Registration will open hopefully this week, if not this week, next week. And go ahead and let people know if, say, they want to come to this symposium. If you have an intro back home and they've been talking about it and they've been waiting for information, now's the time when registration will begin to open. All right, so with that, our internship series this week is Noah Gower. He actually has a pretty unique background. He is an operational meteorologist, but he did an internship at WGAM down in Hattiesburg. So he was at a TV station as somebody who doesn't want to do TV. So it's an interesting perspective on that. So Noah, go ahead.
Hello, how are you now?
Funny.
Not so bad. All right. Yes, I'm Noah. I'm from Hattiesburg. I got to intern with Nick Amelia, who's the chief meteorologist, and he's a big weather nerd. He loves any kind of statistics about weather or anything about the atmosphere, basically. And I gotta say, it was an honor interning under him. So, as you know, I'm not a professional meteorologist. I mainly did forecasting for my first year, and then my second year, I started to get used to broadcasting, getting on the green screen a little bit. Didn't go live or anything like that, but I got a taste of it at least. So mainly what we had to do was look at the models, compare and begin creating your forecast and writing the blog. And then you would hop on the green screen. And then later on in the day, you observe the live news, read research papers, especially if you're at USM or required a little bit more from you, and then and social media, whatever. And Nick would usually make some sort of post about us. And then forecasting, for anybody that's in broadcasting, you know what this is. It's a 7-day forecast. And this is me and my friend Emily's comparison that we did one day for the 7-day forecast. So this is really just aimed at people that are trying to get an internship in broadcasting. You know, you look at the model data and the MOS data, compare it, and then you make your decision. And then you look at the synoptic scale and local features. A big thing, especially at the Mississippi coastline, is kind of mowed out. So a lot of what you'll get is sea breeze thunderstorms. So you have to kind of look at that and estimate your chances of rain with certain conditions. And then after that, you write down your temperatures, your rain chances, your winds, and then you do like a 7 to 7 forecast for the next day, just kind of describing how the day's going to go. And then you start your blog, which is nickelblock.com, and it's an unintentional nickelback. And Nick denies it to this day that he did that on purpose. So yeah, I had a good bit of freedom on what I wanted to do with these blogs, and I kind of went to town, honestly. I made a lot of memes and put them in my blogs, like this right here, and my forecast is yawning, and then also losing our minds over a little model blip. So, and then the other thing that we did for the second year was getting on the green screen. The other thing I like to point out, I don't know if this is a signature look or anything like that, but I'm literally like this in every single video for some reason. In this position every time, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just a bad habit or what. But being on the green screen was really not that bad starting out, even me not being a broadcast major. It took a little bit of time, and then once Nick ran you through it a little bit, you could talk about the weather as much as you want. Like, as long as you put your show together and as long as you knew what you were doing and what was coming up, it wasn't that bad. So for anybody that wants to talk into a camera later on, it takes a little bit of effort, but once you get it, you get the hang of it. So the other thing is that Kristana was talking about when whoever was down at WAPT is that yes, you're going to be doing some reporting and you're going to be doing some live shots. This was us out in Columbia. This is Amber and myself, and they were out doing like a 7 on the road thing. They were broadcasting the news from City Hall over in Columbia. This was a giveaway for a generator that we did over at a rental place. So we had a whole live shot out there. We've gone to gas stations and given out Mountain Dew and stuff like that. It's just something you have to get used to and something you need to get good at, because small stations are going to make you go out and do this whenever they don't have another report. And then just another thing to bring home, if you have another person that you're interning with, get along with them, because you never know the kind of friends you'll make. I still go out and hang out with Emily. This is Kendall, and Patrick is the morning meteorologist. And then this is Amber. She's down in South Alabama. Like, you make a lot of friends, you make a lot of connections. So really just try to be good with everybody. That's it.
Does anybody have any questions? Yes, no? All right, no.
I got one.
Oh, yeah.
Are you still committed to not going into broadcast, or have you thought of changing your mind?
Yeah, I've been iffy about it, honestly. Like, I know that I've talked with the general manager over at DAM before, and she said, you know, if I work on it a little bit, I actually could become one of the meteorologists there. So, you know, it could happen. We'll see.
Cool. All right, thank you, Noah. All right, something I wanted to bring up because an email was sent out today from Tina about it. How many people have heard of the Hauling Scholarship before? I don't think they need to. Okay, so if you are a sophomore this year, or I guess it's technically a second-year student in a 4-year program. So if you're a sophomore or a first-year transfer, you technically qualify under it. You are eligible to apply for the NOAA Hauling Scholarship, which gives you $9,500 per year to toward your college tuition, but it also gives you a summer internship at a NOAA facility. That could be the National Weather Service, that could be the Storm Prediction Center, National Hurricane Center, anything under the NOAA umbrella, even the National Water Center down in Tuscaloosa. So the requirements for it is that you are enrolled as a full-time second-year student in a 4-year academic program, which is what we are. And college, or if you did community college or transfer students, you must provide proof of applicant. I guess that doesn't apply to everyone. And then you have to have a 3.0 grade point average on a 4.0 scale, which is what we use. So if you are a sophomore this year, if you are planning on graduating in 2022, you are eligible for this. If you're a freshman, keep this in mind for next year. Applications are due on July 31st, and it really is prestigious. January, not July. One of the J months. January 31st. It really is a prestigious scholarship, and it's almost $10,000. Like, it is worth it. The application includes a general application. You'll need a couple of letters of recommendation, and I think they actually require you to make a CV. Caroline?
Yeah, you'll have to have a type of resume, but it's very informal, like
Yeah.
a one-page resume or something, which shameless plug, the Career Center on campus is really good about helping people with that. So if you guys haven't been to the Career Center, go to the Career Center. But if you are a sophomore, even if you're operational or broadcast, I would consider applying for this, if nothing else. It's basically a $20,000 scholarship and over 2 years, and you get a paid internship your junior year, which is hard to come by.
Yeah, and like Caroline said, broadcast and professional, both are eligible for it. So that's the Hawing Scholarship. If you have any questions, you can come find me, Caroline, or any of the executive board. We'll help you through it. The application will be linked on our website in the member portal after the meeting tonight, and you have until July 31st to do that. January. I don't know why I keep thinking July. Okay. Storm Spotter class was last week. Thanks to everybody who went. A couple of people down in the National Weather Service this weekend recognized people who were at the Storm Spotter class. So there's case in point that it's worth it to go to things like this. All these people got Storm Spotter certified through the National Weather Service, the Skywarn program, and I know the Weather Service people enjoyed it. Speaking of the Jackson trip, we did go down to Jackson this past weekend. How many people were in the room went? A good amount. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we went to WAPT, the Mississippi River Basin Model, and the National Weather Service. Here are some pictures. That's all of us there at WAPT. There's Kristana in the middle. She's the Beacon morning meteorologist. She's also a grad student and a TA here. And then roaming around the studio, we got a studio tour. We went around the station and the newsroom. We entered the sales department, which you usually don't go into on a TV station tour. So it was a good overview of how the station works. And then we went to the Mississippi River Model. It was obviously cloudy and misty outside. And little did I know, I thought it was still operational, but apparently it stopped operating in 1993.
Pretty spooky.
Yeah. So just to show you the extent of my research, I Googled it and I came across a picture, but the picture was small and I didn't think much of it. I just saw it and thought, okay, yeah, this looks cool. So here was that picture. Notice the clothes that people are wearing. So that's what it used to look like. If you were down there, this is the same place. That's the Vicksburg area, and then this is your Vicksburg that way. So that goes to show you to make the picture bigger, make the picture the same, all of it. Then we went to the National Weather Service. We got to launch the Zero Z balloon from the Jackson Airport. That was really fun. We got to go on the grounds of the actual Jackson Airport, like through the secure area. It was, have you ever seen that video of the people like running through the gate, the subway? It was like that, except at the airport. They had to key it in, and then like we just kept spinning the thing until it stopped spinning. I'm pretty sure we broke several laws, but it's fine. So yeah, we got to do that, and then we got to see how warnings are issued, like severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings through a simulation, and then some of the Weather Service employees just talked about random things in the Weather Service and answered questions. So it was a fantastic trip. I hope we get to enjoy this in the future. One good thing about Starkville is that we're like 2 hours from everywhere. So we could go to Birmingham, Memphis, places like that, and potentially do this there. Okay, if you were here last year, hopefully you came to Medsgiving. It's our take on Thanksgiving. Basically what we do is everybody makes a bunch of Thanksgiving food and we sit here and eat it. It's that simple. But Medsgiving is as good as you make it because we provide the main dish of turkey and maybe a couple other things. But then everybody else will sign up to bring something like rolls, mac and cheese, green meat, whatever Thanksgiving or non-Thanksgiving food that you want. Also desserts. So it will be on November 17th. I believe that's a Tuesday. It's going to take the place of our last chapter meeting. So the sign up will be on our website, and we'll be sure to send out a link for it. It will open next week. We didn't want to open it this week because we didn't want you to sign up for something and then forget about it. So hopefully with next week being November, Halloween's past, you wouldn't forget about it.
Actually, technically this week's November.
Yeah, Friday's. So hopefully, like I said, it's as good as you make it. So if you have something you enjoy making, bring it, and be sure to you don't have to necessarily bring enough to share with everyone, not for like 60 people, but if we have enough dishes, then it'll be fine. Really quick, something we talked about last week. We've been getting lots of questions about from freshmen and sophomores about what classes they should take. You do, of course, have your advisor, but if you want to hear just a student perspective, what to expect from a class, what your course load might be like, if you're taking chemistry, Cal 2, and physics all in the same semester.
1, why? 2, don't.
Yeah. You don't hesitate to come ask any exec board member. We've all been through freshman and sophomore year, some form or fashion. And so yeah, that's it. Does anybody have any questions right now? Or you can just come find us afterward. Membership, same old, same old. I
Please
think,
Venmo us if you're gonna do it. It makes it so much easier.
yeah, we right up reverse Venmo. I think most everybody in here is a member though. This was really just for if any new people came. And then of course merchandise. We've placed another t-shirt order. The t-shirt people are slower than molasses. But
That's
they're
being
giving us
nice. That's being
really good
really nice of
prices.
them.
So it's a trade-off. We hope to have them next week. If you had an order online and we were able to fill it before we sold out, your shirt is sitting upstairs in the final. I think there's 2 shirts with names on them upstairs. So if you have not gotten your shirt yet, make sure to go up there and check. And if it's not up there, it means you're on the next board. The other thing is that if you are wanting to get shirts for your family for Christmas, for the holidays, we are going to close orders by the last day of classes.
Yes.
So we will
Because
have.
I want to go home.
Yeah.
And not be worried about shipping out t-shirts because I live very far away. So
So if you want shirts as gifts, last day of classes will be the last day to get them. And I don't wait that long because it's entirely possible that we sell out and then the t-shirt company decides to wait.
or you order on the last day and they say I'm not gonna do that because I have finals.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible, but it's one of those things that like don't wait till the last minute. Like if you're gonna do that, you need to order them now. So I know, so you know everyone, because if we ship them out or we hand them to you, like we have to label those, we have to track those, we have to put it in the computer. It just makes it easier if you go ahead and do it now or as soon as possible. Done.
So if you want to do that, that's fine. And that's it. Our next chapter meeting is on a Thursday. So if you have people who could, or if you know people who could only come to Thursday meetings, be sure to tell them that the next meeting is on Thursday, 14th, 5:15, and here. Also, if you're a committee head member for the museum, go ahead and stick around for a couple minutes. We need to talk about some stuff.
You too.
Yeah,
my last Yeah.
No, I don't get about I don't know.
Should it
there's one over here, Andrew.
Well,